80% of diseases, they are related to the quality of air. And we also have to remember about changes to the climate because polluted air conserves heat in the atmosphere. And when we talk about global warming, it's not about working in shorts during winter time. It's first of all, it's loss of biodiversity of our local nature, and we don't want things like floods and hurricanes in our neighborhoods. Yes, how we can improve the pollution? We have to decrease number of vehicles and increase number of trees. And we will hear from the experience of Miss Sylvia Vides from the experience of Madrid. The city is for 45% is covered with trees, and parks are very popular both among city guests and from locals. But still, city has a lot of problem with pollution from vehicles, and Madrid decided to create the largest city forest in the world. Sylvia, the floor is yours.
For the invitation to the conference, explaining with the opportunity to explain the renaturing strategy of our city with two projects, the Metropolitan Forest and at the local scale, the producer neighborhoods. I have a presentation. Should I share my screen, or maybe are you now listening? Should I share my screen?
Презентація зараз з'явиться.
We see your presentation on the screen, on the parallel screen.
Презентацію.
We can see your presentation, Sylvia.
Then, well, Madrid, first of all, I want to explain the urban planning context of the city. The Madrid Master Plan of Madrid has approved in 1997 and is still in force, and planned the urbanization of more than 6 hectares for new dwellings and for new economic areas. Meanwhile, the population of the city stays very stable. This expansionary trend changes a few years ago when we started with a strategic planning focused on the recovery and the regeneration of the existing city. We have a very wide citizen participation, and the environmental and the improving of the quality conditions in the city. It's very clear for us, and so we started this strategy of renaturing of the city. Okay, we will start with the third slide, please. Next slide. The Metropolitan Forest, next one, please. The Metropolitan Forest is a peripheral green belt with more than 75 kilometer length that embrace the city, and with 32,000 hectares. We think we will be able to plant more than 1 million trees in our city. Okay, next slide, please. And the next one again. We are facing many challenges, environmental challenges, the adaptation to climate change, also the increasing of biodiversity. But also in Madrid, we have a very heavy problem with the urban heat island. The name of the strategy is Madrid Island of Color, because we want to change this red image to a green image by means of a green infrastructure. Next, please. This corridor will create a connection between also the regional parks of our region. This is the image of the region, and the white line, it's the edge and the boundaries of the municipality. So we try to include this biodiversity and to make it closer with the inner city. Next one. We started with, we are working in different ways depending of the types of the urban planning areas. In one hand, we have the consolidated areas. In the consolidated areas, we are working with reforestation projects. Usually, we are working with very degraded areas, landfills, and very poor soils. On the other hand, we have the protected areas. Here we are making agreements with the private owners, with land stewardship agreements. And in the middle, we have all those planned areas where we are trying to make agreements with the promoters and giving the criteria and a master plan to the construction and the building of this green infrastructure. Also, here we have the budget. It's an estimated budget, very high budget because it's a very ambitious project. 50% is a budget, an investment of the municipality, and the other 50% is a private investment of the promoters. We started with an international contest, dividing the project in 5 areas of intervention and with different goals. Now we are working with 5 teams of landscape architects and environmental experts to develop the projects. The next slides I will pass very, very quickly, explaining the objectives of the projects. We are trying to make peri-urban parks. Protecting the environment and also the promotion of the urban agriculture is something very important in this context. The next one, we have also the objective to build what we call a forest avenue, to connect all the green areas and parks of the city, but also schools, economic areas, and even the Barajas airport of Madrid, very close to the inner city, or the fairground, the main fairground of the city of Madrid. Next one. We have also a very important challenge with the yesiferous soils. There's a very poor soils with a specific geology of hills, cantiles, and also a very unique vegetation. We try to create a Mediterranean unique vegetation for the city of Madrid. Next one. We are also working with the wastewater plants, with the integration in the transformation of the installation, creating wetlands, with the restoration also of the riverbanks and the streams. Next one. And also we are working with the transformation of military airport and other military installation to integrate this unspoiled area in the context of the Metropolitan Forest. I want to highlight one of the, I think the most outstanding aspect of the project is this multi-stakeholder approach. We are working with other municipal departments, environment, urban planning and economic departments, but also with external collaboration with promoters, citizens, companies, and also university and city centers. Our budget is 22 million per year, but we are also looking for private budgets by means of the planning, public-private collaboration for the development of 12 sustainable services facilities regarding with urban agriculture, educational and training, green economy, or socio-recreative. The next project is the Producer Neighborhoods project, is the local scale. Here we have in Madrid open block neighborhoods with more than 600 hectares of open spaces, underused spaces that are really an opportunity for this renaturing strategy in the inner city. Next one. Our starting point was the Madrid neighborhoods, the Madrid network of community gardens. We have been working during the 10 past years with community gardens, school gardens, and also municipal farms. And there is a great demand to the municipality to change the social approach of the community gardens to more with most profitable gardens, so that we can also sell the food, the production, and so that we have a really commerce supported, but with the urban agriculture. Next one. Now we are we are working on the creation of a technical office to make technical assistance for the people involved in this project. We have built 2 training schools, and we are working with preparing the first contest with 30 plots that we will give a concession to private and to entrepreneurs, startups, or companies that would like to organize this new generation of gardens and farms in the city, in our city. And finally, I will show you this slide because we are also working on a modification of the urban rules, trying to include this parameter, the green area factor. It's very, very close to the Berlin biotop factor, trying to make mandatory for the new projects of buildings or the refurbishment of existing buildings to apply this factor depending on the buildability of the parcels, so that in Madrid also appears green roofs, green facades, vegetation, and corridors in the buildings. So that's very briefly what we are working on in this strategy. Thank you very much for your attention.
Дякуємо, Сільвія. Дійсно дуже цікавий досвід. І ми продовжуємо.
Thank you, Sylvia, for sharing great experience.